Hi, thanks for joining me. My name's Ben Ritner. I am the lead developer at Kadence. And today I'm going to be talking about creating effective WooCommerce sites with Kadence blocks templates. And primarily with that, we're going to be using Kadence Shop Kit to build the templates. Kadence blocks are the blocks we use in the template. And then we're using the Kadence theme, although that doesn't really matter that much. Shop Kit and Kadence blocks will work with any theme. And we're going to primarily focus on product pages. While these tools can be used for like archives and archive loops and things like that, today I'm primarily just going to talk about what about the product page. It's the really important page. So by default, WooCommerce is pretty basic in what it gives you in terms of how you can control the product page. There isn't an option for the block editor right now. And so what you basically have is a place to set images, a place to type in a short description, a place to put in a longer description, but this is still the classic editor. And then you can add some attributes for additional information in that tab. But overall, that doesn't really give you a lot of control to design a really compelling product page. And so what we're going to look at is what's being done out there on the web. We're going to look at a couple sites and see maybe some things we can glean from. And then how do we do that in Gutenberg using these tools to create custom templates that you can apply to a single product or to a group of products. So let's dive in. So you can't really talk about product pages without at least mentioning Amazon, mainly because they're the #1 online store. So this is probably familiar to you, and I'm going to talk about a few things that I see in here. I think it's worth saying Amazon gets a pass on design. If you were to critique this, you would be like, wow, this is overwhelming to the max. They get a pass largely because they're the largest, and they don't necessarily need to worry about making their messaging super clear. I think what you want to make sure you note is that you don't have what Amazon has, and your products need to be super clear as to what they do, how they work, and not give you this massive overwhelm of information, but more cleanly laid out. But there is something we can look at with Amazon. One, they're gonna have good pictures. Pictures are absolutely crucial. Another thing you're gonna notice is this is a pretty common trend to stick things as you scroll. So obviously, like this photo area is sticking while I'm scrolling through down to here. And visualizing options instead of hiding them in a select box, that's important. And then their big, Amazon kills it with recommended products. Hey, customers also bought this. But something I wanted to mention here, you'll see this a lot on Amazon, and I think like if you offer or selling products where you need to compare, this is really important to do. Figure out how you can get that in. And then nice big pictures and selling the features. I think what's important to note here is that unlike the basic WooCommerce template, there is no tabs. You're not going to see tabs. It's a scrolling experience. And so probably tip #1 for, how do you improve your product page design is to get rid of the tabs. Find a way to get rid of the tabs you have. So last just thing to mention is Amazon. I shop on Amazon and I always go to the reviews. So reviews are big. Finding a way to have people voting on reviews and organizing them that way can be really helpful because people want to know what other people are saying about your product. These are some interesting designs to look at, some ways to think differently about your product page. So this one is moving the add to cart. That's out of stock. Let's see, switch, onto this side. They're giving you your features and giving this kind of really subtle look. It's very subtle. I think it's probably pretty close to not passing on terms of accessibility, but I didn't test it for that. It is just like a nice experience. I think what's interesting here, again, no product tabs. You're going to notice this. And they have some, cool ways to show stuff. So just the interactivity of this as well as like what's included, giving you this nice picture experience. Another one, daily harvest. This is interesting. Again, you notice things are sticking a lot in modern product pages, but images here are crucial. And so I think you can't understate that. Whenever you're building a product page, you must have good images. But also, I like what they're doing here with Super Clean. I think the important things to note is like clear messaging, good images, and then get them to reviews so that they can see. I mean, your descriptions don't matter as much as those reviews. I know you have to put them in front because people need to know about the product, but I think it's important that you get people into the reviews. And then the way that images are laid out, I think this is a cool way to do it in terms of, again, we have a sticky section. I just want to make sure you notice that. And then images that you don't have to like click through thumbnails to see. So you get kind of a really good feel for this product without having to actually do anything but scroll. I think that's nice. Something you should consider. And again, they solved their tab problem by sticking things in, information that they needed to put in there into an accordion and then right into reviews. And obviously a lot of them are featuring reviews right up by the product thing. I think the other thing that's important, you get like a clear indication of what options are available, and then for size, and you got a size guide. That's really important. When you're thinking about your product page, you want to make sure that you're answering all of their questions, so there's nothing holding them back from clicking that add to cart button. So if they're wondering if there's other options and all that, make it clear, make the choices that they have to make, walk them through it if they need it. And then now we're just going to jump into some examples that actually we're going to remake in WooCommerce. So this is one I particularly liked, the layout of the images. Again, I think this is really interesting. Way to showcase images is to not hide it all in thumbnails, but actually show it. Of course, your mobile experience is going to be just your traditional slider, and that's kind of necessary to save all that space. But the fact that you can do something unique on the desktop, I think that's cool. And again, you'll see here, they're jumping right into reviews and no tabs, but their information is locked into accordions here. And then, clear selection of color and size guide. So all of that is very important when you're setting this up. Quick and easy access to reviews. Another one I liked, I think this is cool, just a super wide layout. And when you're talking about a nice wide couch, I think that makes a lot of sense. Again, images being so nice with this, and the fact that you get this nice thing to follow you along as you look at the images and don't have to click through them, but just scroll. And then the last one, which I'm a big backpacker, so this is when I actually own this backpack. This is a cool way to get away from tabs as well, and I think it's important that you just think about laying out your content. Amazon does this too, where you have your features with images. They get a lot into specs, and if you're a backpacker, this is kind of all needed, but I think it's a cool layout in a way to just make it a good experience. And a little bit different than your norm while still giving you the things that everyone needs. I think what's important to note is, like, if you're going to design a custom product page, you don't want to go too far out where people are looking around for stuff. The add to cart should be front and center, and really easy to find. But this is a cool way to do a gallery where you've got it on the side, thumbnails on the side, and an easy way to see what image or what colors are associated with the images. So I think the big takeaways I wanted to make sure I hit at is that, like, if you can avoid tabs, that's going to be really good for you. It's going to force you to think about a design in a scrolling experience, which is going to end up being a better experience for mobile as well. And make sure you get those reviews. What's important is that people come, they see the product, they find out what they need to know, make sure that's easy and clear, and then they get those reviews to give them that confidence. Especially because you're probably not a name brand that people know. And so since you're probably building a site where people are going to have that hesitancy of, is this legitimate, or am I going to get my, information stolen and stuff like that? You've got to work a little bit harder to just give that experience, that kind of premium level, to where people are like, okay, I can trust this brand. Let's jump into building one of these layouts. Okay, so we're going to start with the couch. This is kind of, I grabbed that couch from that one website. Actually, this is a green one. And essentially, this is what you get by default with WooCommerce. And I'm going to talk through how you can use Gutenberg and Kadence Shop Kit to kind of make this experience much more like what we saw. So first thing I'm going to do is dive into Shop Kit real quick. There's the Shop Kit settings. I'm going to go ahead and enable some things, global tabs. We don't need size charts for a couch. We do want the product templates. Let's see. We need advanced reviews. Advanced reviews are nice. Actually, we're not even going to use this, but this module inside a Shop Kit gives you that option for like voting up on reviews. It gives you like that review overview. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Product gallery, you're going to notice there's a lot of gallery styles built into Shop Kit. So this can really like make for a really cool experience. And then you also have like settings for mobile and tablet. So you can design that perfect layout that's going to work great on mobile and then really cool on desktop. So I'm going to just enable that, then go into products here, and under my product tabs, I just want to show you I've created 3 product tabs. These are just basic stuff that came with that one couch website. And then I have a template already made, but I'm just, for the sake of kind of showing you a little bit of how it works, I'm going to create one. So one of the things that you want on the top generally are breadcrumbs. So I'm going to drop that in. Each of these blocks that kind of are like the pieces of WooCommerce come with a lot of styling and options. Different blocks have different options, but for this one, I know I'm going to want to probably, because this is going to be full width, I'm going to want to play with the spacing a little bit. So I'm probably going to add a little bit of top margin, left margin, or padding, sorry, and bottom. And we'll see how that looks in a little bit. And then after that, we'll add in a row layout here. This is going to give me the option for a grid. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's resize this actually, and put the product title in. And you can see it's already pulling in the correct title and the correct breadcrumbs. And like, as I pull in the gallery, it'll pull in the correct gallery. Essentially, you can choose which product is setting up in the preview by selecting it here. You can go in and choose. This is a little demo site, so nothing crazy, but you can see stuff's already coming in. So let's see, after that, I think I want my short description and price. And you can see like a lot of these blocks are just right over here where you can just drop in kind of what you need. So, my next block is probably going to be the add to cart here, which I'm currently missing. There we go. And then, with this block, I want that style to change a bit. You're not going to generally buy more than one couch at the same time. So I'm going to go into my block settings and I'm going to hide that. And then I kind of want this button to be larger and to kind of fill this column, so I can force that. I will add some color changes to it as well. I think I want this to be black. And then on hover, just so you know something's happening, change a little bit. And we'll throw in a little padding, probably 8 pixels, top and bottom. Nice big add to cart button. Price here, I think I want to make this maybe a little bit larger, and let's make it bold. Okay, want price to be clear. So, and then after this, let's see, I'm going to want to add my tabs. And here I was talking about don't use tabs, or try to get away from tabs. One of the things that you have options for in Shop Kit is the ability to change your tabs to an accordion, so you can use the collapse style, which is nice. And then because I actually want to move my description somewhere else, I can enable and disable tabs. So I'm actually going to disable the description, and I want the reviews somewhere else too. So I will disable reviews. So now I have this nice setup here with my shipping options being clear. There is huge. And then what's the warranty, and then what's the returns things. Again, we're trying to answer questions before they're asked. And so yeah, let's get into this product gallery. And this one, I'm going to use the list view. So you can see that throws all the images out like that. And then I actually want this section to be sticky. So I'm going to go into the section, and here we'll just open this up so you can kind of see what the actual lists are. So in my section, I'm going to make this sticky. And now that section follows me as I scroll. And then on mobile, we'll have this gallery turn into just a regular slider, and that'll drop below it. So let's see, what else do we need here? Let's go ahead and drop the product description right after that. And I'm actually going to, I think, wrap that in a section. So we'll stick this into there. That way I have a section around that, and that section can then have some separate stuff, because I want to stick a border at the top of this. So border color, and top 1 pixel. And then because I've got this thing full width here, I'm going to go into my spacing settings and give it and then okay. That's closer to what I was going for. One thing with the product description is I can adjust styling in there too. So like you can see those links are colored. I have link color options here, so I can actually make them more subtle, and then change the whole typography of the block if I want to. I want to grab this section and give it a background. Not that one, that one. There we go. Now we've got this look like it goes from images right on down into the content, which is great. Let's add a little bit of margin to the bottom of this too. There we go. And then from here, you could just drop in the reviews, which this product doesn't have any reviews. And then this is a 2 column, and I think in this setup I would want 1, and we'll add some margin to the top of that. Okay, so there you go. We just created a custom product template. Now, how this works is you can have it apply to products based on, so I can choose products and I can go in and choose based on group. So I could say, I want to have this apply to all 3-seater sofas or all sofas, or I can do it individually and just select a single product here and publish. And then if we want to, we can hop out of the editor, go over to our products and just view this on the front end. And you can see I need to just change some spacing. This needs a little bit more space, but in general, this is really, giving us a cool experience pretty easily, where you've got all the stuff you need and definitely not your traditional product template. So we'll just dive right into the next one. This is the one that had that cool layout with images. So I just basically grabbed all the images, and again, we're looking at, this is what the default looks like. So one thing that was cool about this product page on Gearshark's site is that in the bottom they showed related products, and you may also like kind of differently. I want to look at that real quick. If you scroll past the, oh weird, that didn't load. Let's try this. There we go. If you go scroll past wear it with, and you might like, I think this is a cool way to show products where you're not having to show so many at once, but also like making it clear, like, hey, you would wear this with the product above, or if you're looking at the product above, you might like these. By the way, they don't do a good option of actually curating this list, but you could, and WooCommerce lets you. So right now here we have products that you would wear with this hoodie, and then products that you could say are like that hoodie. So if you're looking at a hoodie, you might like these. So related, and you may also like. So we're going to look at how to do this. Instead of going through and building the template from scratch though, we're just going to look at one that's already built. First thing we need to do is start enabling everything inside of Shop Kit. And so what you'll see, a couple things I've done here. We have a global tab, and then we have a size chart. I'm just going to edit that to show you real quick. This looks like, this is just setting up what's going to show up in that module when it opens. And one thing with the size chart that's important to note, you get to pick where this thing shows. So in this particular case, I've got it before the attribute selection, and I'm saying it's before the size attribute selection. And then, yeah, we'll look at what that product looks like in WooCommerce now. So here you can see it coming together. Again, this is not the Gymshark site. This is on my local WooCommerce site. This is a WooCommerce store, and here we've turned this into a template that you can use on multiple products. And it does all the things you wanted to do. Here you got images that all switch. So you get a good representation of what's there. You've got a great add to cart here. Size guide shows up. And then right into reviews. This is where you've got that review overview. And then wear it with, and you might like, which is just a cool way of showing that. So like, this is how it works. Of course, then on mobile, if we do a little look here, you can see this jumps right into a view that makes sense for mobile. So it's cool how this comes together. We'll hop right into that template real quick and just look at it. So yeah, I mean, it's mostly what you see is what you get. pulling into the back end, and then just the ability to design using, here we've selected tiles. I mean, this could be a 2-column. We saw a website that did that. That was pretty cool. So you've got options. You can do thumbnails on the left here, and then you can change their width and the column amount. So lots of settings inside of this to change stuff. I think it's important, like, to note, like, even inside of these, this is the tabs block, which is turned into an accordion. You can fully edit what this looks like. You can go in and change border colors for all 3 states. That would be standard, hover, and active. Background colors, fonts, all of it is editable, and then templatable. So you can apply this template across multiple products super easily. And then you get really unique looking product pages. So this last one we'll look at, the backpack. Again, this is one like traditional WooCommerce would only switch that one image. You, with the gallery that you're building with in blocks, you can do a lot more than that. So we'll apply a template to this, going into the dashboard here, turn on Shop Kit. And I've just turned this off because I wanted to show you like the before and after so it was clear. But then we'll jump into products here. And let's look at, we've got 2 tabs, global tabs. These global tabs can be like conditionally placed like on certain products and things like that. But yeah, let's look at this backpack single design. So here we've got product gallery, and there's the add to cart, which has its settings. We could come in if we wanted to and change the button styles, make the button a little bit larger. Colors can be set, and alignment. But then we've got, this is our, using a dynamic HTML block, we're pulling in the post excerpt, which is the product short description. And then we're using advanced custom fields. So this is like a dynamic custom field that's filling this. So here, like, and then this is conditional. So I mostly want to explain, like, while this looks like static content, which you could use it this way, like you can build product by product layouts. It's not actually static because you can fill all of this stuff with dynamic content. So all of this is filled with dynamic content. And then this even has a conditional that basically says, you know, if the product has a video link in the product metadata, like in, you know, in the settings, then show this output. And this is going to be the product title, and that's going to be the dynamic link, and this is going to be a dynamic image set. So this template then, which we're applying to all backpacks, if we go into our products, this is our one that we were looking at. So we'll just view this one. Here we can see everything coming together. Dynamic comfort, the perfect fit. If we jump over to another product here, that template still remains true here. This is all updated dynamically. These are all updated dynamically. This is all updated dynamically. And so you don't have to do this for every single product, but you can actually do it and have it apply and have it work, because then on the back end here, if we edit the product, we can see I've created some custom fields where I'm putting in this extra data that we know we want based on our design. And that's just using advanced custom fields, just the free plugin. So lots of cool things you can do with product templates to really create some unique feels and experiences for your users. So yeah, that is what I have to show you. Um, Definitely exciting, and lots of things you can do inside of Gutenberg, where you get the block builder, but you can also create custom templates, apply those templates, and create a much better experience for your users. Thanks for joining me.